So Jake, did I ever tell you that I was really afraid of the ocean?
No, you never told me that.
Yeah, I'm afraid of sharks and anything under the ocean because we never know what's under there. It's so scary.
Very dark.
Yeah, very dark. Welcome to Apocalypse Movies. This is our review of Finding Dory, the new Disney Pixar animated film that just released last week, and we're here to review it. I'm Jacob Bartley. I'm joined by Jake Berlin. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. This is your first video review, right?
It is. Rookie at this.
Well, welcome to the world of video. I'm not a veteran of it. I just started doing it, but we're really excited to get video reviews going, so thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here to talk about Finding Dory. So when did you see the film?
I saw it Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, yeah. I just saw it on Tuesday, actually.
Nice,
so
nice.
We're a little bit late to this, but we wanted to get the review out regardless. So just like any review, we're going to talk about our positives, our negatives, and then give it a score out of 10. So Jake, just give your overall review of the film, your overall thoughts.
Yeah, so, obviously Finding Dory came out, 2003, 13 years ago. Came out a very long time ago. The sequel's been in the works for a really long time.
13 years is when the first one came out. Yeah, crazy.
So, you're going in with some kind of expectations. It's the same creative team behind the first one, coming back, doing kind of the same story. All the characters coming back, minus a few. I had a good time with it. I had fun.
Yeah.
It didn't hit as hard as Finding Nemo, obviously. Finding Nemo is like an anomaly. It's one of Pixar's best ever. It's one of my favorites. It was a very fun film, though. Ellen DeGeneres as Dory, never better. She's always great as the character.
Her voice acting is great.
Yeah, Marlon and Nemo, they're great. Seeing them together too this time around was really cool to see. Those two. I love all the new characters they introduced. Hank the Octopus, a bunch of other characters. But overall, I had a good time. A few things I didn't like, obviously, and the short in the very beginning is probably one of my all-time favorites from Pixar.
I loved the short in the beginning.
Yeah,
it was at first I was a little thrown off by it, like what is this? But then I really enjoyed it by the end of it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
See, the moment that
Piper, it's called Piper. Yeah.
When Piper gets hit by the wave and you see him cracked out, I was dying laughing.
It's a great short. Yeah. Enjoy the short before the film. But as far as Finding Dory goes, I really enjoyed it. I think I liked it more than you. And surprise, Finding Nemo is not my favorite Disney Pixar film. Okay. I wouldn't even put it in my top 3 or 4. I think I like a lot of other films better, like Inside Out and The Incredibles, and of course the Toy Story trilogy. But I recognize how great and brilliant Finding Nemo is. It's just not one of my favorites. I think I liked Finding Dory even more than Finding Nemo.
Wow.
I don't know if it's a better movie, but I think I enjoyed it even more. This is not a spoiler. They released a little video out for it a couple days ago, but Baby Dory.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This little fish is so adorable. They know how to pull on your heartstrings. This isn't new. Pixar knows how to do that, and they love doing that, and they definitely do that with Baby Dory. Just imagine the short-term memory loss, but with a child and a teenager, like what they could do with that. It's amazing.
The stuttering and everything.
Yeah, they just knocked that out of the park. The women are going to love this movie. The little kids are going to love this movie. I personally enjoyed it as a grown man. Obviously, the comedic elements are great. The dramatic elements are great. The new characters are something that really stood out to me. They introduce a bunch of new characters, and you don't think they're going to be a big part of the movie, but they end up being a great contribution to the overall quality of the film. I really enjoyed the movie. So let's talk about maybe something we didn't enjoy. Is there anything that you didn't like about Finding Dory?
It got a little repetitive after a while for me.
Yeah.
And it felt like they were kind of rehashing Finding Nemo at some parts. I get it. They're calling it back. It was 13 years ago. But it was a little too much for me. And there were little slow moments too. It took a while to build for me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It took a while, and, it didn't take away from the film at all because I enjoyed the film. But those are definitely some things. Some moments kind of got annoying because, again, they were getting repetitive. And I think that was the overall thing for me, is just it was a rehash of things in the film that were earlier or even in Finding Dory.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's hard not to do some of the similar things they did in Finding Nemo, and they kind of, repeated some of the similar beats. But they also, the movie felt long because you thought one thing was resolved and they just kept going back to it.
Yes.
And eventually it does get resolved, but the movie dragged on a little bit in the third act for me. I agree that that's a negative, but overall I was really happy with it. One thing I forgot to mention that I love how involved what's the dad's name of Nemo?
Marlin.
Nemo and Marlin.
Marlin and Nemo,
I didn't
yes.
think they were going to be a big part of this movie, and they're a huge part of this movie. And I love seeing them together because in Finding Nemo, you don't get to see them together a lot because they're looking for Nemo the whole time. And seeing Merlin and Nemo together was one of my high positives. Well, just like every review, we're going to give Finding Dory a score out of 10. Jake, what do you got?
I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. It's one of Pixar's better sequels.
Definitely.
You know, they struggle with sequels
for sure.
sometimes. And I thought it was better than most of their sequels. It had some really good moments, some really heartstring moments that, that's pull on your heart. And I'll stick with a 7. But again, it might change after a viewing or two. So
yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's better than Finding Nemo. I'm going to have to watch them both. But I enjoyed it more than Finding Nemo. And with that being said, I'm going to give Finding Dory an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a very high quality film. I think it's very enjoyable for families and kids, and I think women are going to love it. And if you're a man and you enjoyed Finding Nemo, I think you're really going to enjoy Finding Dory. All right, well, that's going to do it for our Finding Dory review. I want to thank Jake Berlin for joining me today. Let them know where they can find you on the web, man.
Twitter, Instagram, at Qui-Gon Jake, apocalypsemovies.com every day.
And you can find me, Jacob Bartley, on Twitter at @JacobBartley_, on Instagram at Jacob Ryan Bartley, and on Apocalypse Movies, this YouTube channel. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of Finding Dory or what you thought of our review. And if you haven't seen Finding Dory, if you're looking forward to watching it. And thank you all for listening. Until next time, take care.